Okay. Oh, sure.
Yes,
Okay.
Kumar, you may read.
Yeah. Uh, can you close the screen? Oh, sorry, my screen. Sorry. Okay. A project manager is leading a team responsible for building a new bridge in a city. The project is politically sensitive, and the project manager is aware that several stakeholders have different levels of power and influence within the city government. The project manager is also aware that the city government support is crucial for the project's success. But some stakeholders are pushing for changes that could significantly impact the project's budget and timeline. The project manager is faced with a difficult decision on how to proceed. Which tool would be helpful? Earned value management, power influence grid, stakeholders satisfaction survey, RAM matrix. Hmm,
Yeah. What is RAM matrix? Kind of a Rocky matrix, right? Responsibility, who is responsible, who is accountable, who is to be consulted, and who is to be kept informed. Just like the one we saw before in the previous question, this one.
yeah.
Okay. So it's another name for that only. Okay. Yeah.
And volume management, it's not talk about this. So nothing is going to do that. Mm, power influence grid, we can identify the who are influenced to this. Okay, we have already influenced. I think we should go for C, stakeholder satisfaction survey.
So what it gonna help us? How it gonna help us? The problem is they are just powerful people, and they are just pushing for adding many things, right? So how if you will take their
I will go
services,
for earned value management.
earned value management, when you
No,
talk,
RAM matrix.
look guys, when you go for RAM matrix, what you will get to know, let's say there are five stakeholders, A, B, C, D, and there are two, three activities or five activities. You will get to know who is responsible for activity A, maybe stakeholder A. Who is accountable for activity A, maybe stakeholder B. Who is to be kept informed, maybe stakeholder C. Who is to be kept, who can be consulted, maybe stakeholder D. Okay, so the activity A is a responsibility of stakeholder A, whereas it is accountability of stakeholder B, whereas it can be stakeholder C can be kept informed for it, and stakeholder D can be consulted for it. Similarly, you will have all the activities, and there will be accountable or responsible or consulted person or informed person will be changing for each of the activity. You got my point? That will be a matrix. Okay. So if you know that who will do what, who is responsible for what, and who is accountable for what, and who should be consulted for what, and who should be kept informed of what, how it will help you in this scenario? Will it help you in this scenario?
I don't think so, sir. It is just the information gathering, right? And he's
Even
just
even
telling me
in
the
that
hierarchy.
even in that matrix, you will not have the person name. You will have, okay, business analyst is responsible for requirement gathering, PM is responsible and accountable for the planning, uh, architect is responsible for making design, uh, the consultant can be, I mean, safety and security consultant can be consulted, right? So you know the title and you know the work that need to be done, but you don't know who has what power, who has what influence, that you can, which of the tool can help you to understand your stakeholders' power and influence. That's the question saying, right? Kumar,
Yeah.
what do you think? The
Yeah. Yeah.
question is pointing towards some key players, right? Key people in the government, right?
Correct.
And they are pushing to you to go, you know, do the changes which can impact your project budget and your timelines. So the project manager is in very difficult situation. He has to take a difficult decision how to proceed. So he has to first understand their power level, their interest level, their influence level, and then he has to devise the strategy how to engage with them. Earned value management is a technique where you can understand the project performance, how it is performing in terms of cost. Are you under
It's
budget?
kind
Are
of a
you,
planned budget value versus
yeah,
actual.
but it doesn't talk about anything about stakeholder engagement at all. It
Yes,
talks
exactly.
about your project performance compared to the
Correct.
uh, planned versus actual, and it can tell you how much value of the work you have done so far, what is the earned value so far. However, it will not talk about your stakeholders at all, right? If you remember, if you
Mm.
have, we may talked about earned value, planned value. We may talked about schedule
Yes, yes,
variance, cost variance, right? Cost performance index, schedule
yes.
performance index, those things. Those things are earned
Correct.
value management formulas. But what does it tell you? Does it tell you anything about stakeholders, right? Their classification? Nothing, right?
Correct.
So what do you think the answer should be?
So B,
So true, true,
because based on that only I need to decide whether I should go for these changes or not,
true.
whether it will really impact or not. So I need a data or tool to
So he has
uh,
to he
this.
has to understand their power and influence, and then he has to devise their communication strategy with them. How he will be communicating now with them, based on their power and influence, understanding that, and then he will be devising communication strategy. Okay,
Correct.
good. We all agree. Let's move to the next question. Kazim, read. Kazim, please read the question.
जी जी सर मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ सर वो रिकॉर्ड का बटन ना सामने आ गया एक बार रुकेगा प्लीज ओके our project manager is leading
Is it okay?
our project manager is जी जी बिल्कुल our project manager is leading a team responsible for implementing a new software system at a small retail company. One of the stakeholders, an employee from the sales department, does not hold a key position does not hold a key position within the organization, but is critical to success of the project, as the system will be heavily used by the sales team. However, the project manager has observed that this stakeholder has been disengaged and unresponsive to project updates and requests for inputs.
Hmm.
What shall project manager do to effectively manage this stakeholder? Focusing solely on technical aspects of the project and neglecting the impact on the sales team, analyzing the stakeholders' level of power and interest using the power interest grid, and engaging the stakeholder accordingly, being confrontational with the stakeholder, involving the stakeholder in the project planning and decision making by providing him with opportunities to provide input and feedback.
Okay, you want to be confrontational with the stakeholder. Do. No, right?
No, 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 no. ये तो नहीं.
Now somebody is not holding a key position, but critical to the success of project, as the system will be heavily used by that person. So if he is not holding key position, would you be involving him in the planning and decision making?
No,
What do you think, Kumar?
sir. But if he don't have the power, but since that department is going to use the software more, so I think he will be involved in planning and
Hear
decision,
him out.
planning
Hear
and
him
design.
out. Hear him out. Take the requirements. Keep him
Yeah.
involved. Show him the demo. Show him the demo. Keep him involved. Take the requirements from him. Take the requirements from him. Okay. He should be part of the requirement gathering. Okay. But
Mhm.
should he be involved in the planning of the things, that what should be developed first, and how you will, I mean, which technical decisions or tough decisions you need to make to get the job
No,
done?
no, no. He is not. He should not be involved in that because it's not of his domain. Because he just want a product. I want a product which can do 1 plus 1. That's it. He
I
is
understand.
interested in
I
that.
understand. You have to take his input, and his feedback is important. But where? Yes, you have to take his feedback once you present him the demo. But you don't need to take his feedback on planning and decision making, right? You
Yes.
don't need his
Yes.
input, which is actually your role to get things done, to plan things out, for example, for the product. But if the option D was that involve him, take his feedback in the, I mean, on the product quality, or the product on the scope, or during the sprint review, then definitely we can involve him, right? But the question,
Yes.
the option 4 is suggesting towards sprint planning.
Yeah.
That's the project manager and the team role, not the stakeholder role.
Yeah.
Okay, then confrontational is out. Then what about you, Kumar? Are you agreeing with us?
Sir, B, C, Charlie and Delta are out, and Alpha is like neglecting the impact on the sales team, focus only on technical aspect of the project, and
No, no,
neglecting the impact on sales team.
you should not
That
do that.
cannot be done
You should not do that,
because
because these are the people who gonna
yeah,
use the system, right?
they are the end users, no?
Hmm.
So I think I will go for Bravo.
Yeah. Kumar, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll go with that. But the only thing is involving the stakeholder in project planning. So stakeholder only will comes on the execution part, right?
Stakeholder will only come during your, what you say, requirement gathering, and even after end of the sprint review. I mean, sprint end of the sprint, there is a sprint review. I mean, okay, there
Mm,
you will present this work to your stakeholders. Okay.
mm,
um, and you will present them what has been done. Okay, so you
mm,
will take the feedback on the end increment or the end product, right?
mm.
So you can take their feedback and input on the product, that how is it like, does it fulfill their requirement? Okay, but the only problem with us, like with the option 4, is that you are not going to involve the stakeholder in sprint planning. Sprint planning you're gonna do with your own team, right?
Correct.
Or the product owner. I mean, the voice of the customer,
Hmm.
right? So you cannot
Right.
do the product sprint planning with all many people, right? You have one voice of the customer, which is product owner, so you can do it with him, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. If product owner is not there, then you can go for asking individual departments, but it will be uh, too tough to reach all people, for the requirements. Okay, that's why product owner is there.
Correct.
Cool, right? Let's go ahead.
Right.
Yes, Kumar, read.
The project team was working on a large project with multiple deliverables and tight deadlines. However, Due to a lack of proper resource management, the team was unable to meet all the deadlines. Which of the following strategies could have helped the team avoid this situation? Referring to staffing management plan, assessing the stakeholders' level of influence and interest in the project, and engaging with the team accordingly, using resource calendars, referring to resource management plan.
Okay.
I
So,
think the answer is in the question, if I'm not wrong.
okay, answer it. Hmm.
Sir, okay, tell me one thing. Referring to staffing management plan, staffing means people are also resource, right?
Mm-hmm.
So technically, alpha is under delta.
Staffing and resource management plan are two things actually.
But
I would go with s- C or D. These two should be there.
I think delta D is the answer.
Yes. Resource calendar will give you when the resource has to peak and down, kind of S curve. Referring to resource
I I think
management plus,
I think
what
Charlie
is
is
the
also right, but I think this using resource calendar, it is also the part of resource management plan.
Look,
yeah,
guys,
correct.
look. So there is little difference between staffing management plan, resource management plan, resource calendar. Okay. Uh, One thing is for sure, the option B is out, right?
Yes.
Okay. Assessing stakeholder level and influence is out. Now, what does resource calendar show you? It shows you resource availability, idle times, okay, and vacation days. Okay, so it's a calendar of a resource. You can see which part of the week, which part of the day, which part of the month, the already onboarded resources are available with you. Let's say you already have me and you on the project, and Kumar is also on the project. But for the next 4 months, we are available for only 3 months. I have my vacation, you have your vacation, and he has his vacation planned in the next 3 months. Okay. Now, what will happen? You already have identified what kind of skill set you need. That is resource management plan. That, let's say, in the planning stage, you identified that you're gonna need me, you're gonna need Kumar, you're gonna need yourself, whatever, and we are key people. And you have actually went ahead and hired us for this project, but we applied for annual leaves, and this is already approved. Now that is there in the calendar. Okay, so what kind of resources you needed, what kind of skill set you needed, okay, you already know it, but it didn't help you out because actually your problem is missing deadlines. True. Your actual problem
Yes.
is that deadlines are getting missed. So what is directly associated with this problem? Resource availability. And resource availability is found where? On your resource calendar. Are you getting, guys?
Sir, I was thinking the same that the most relevant answer is Charlie. But in my mind, referring to resource management plan, I was more thinking that the resource calendar is a subset of resource management plan.
I'll show you, and then you will be happy. Okay. Let me show you guys three things: resource calendar, resource management plan, staffing management plan. And it will be easy for you guys to distinguish or at least remember these three. Okay, just a minute. Give me a moment. You are still able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
PowerPoint
Yeah,
is
yeah.
open.
Yes.
So ये CSS BB क्या होता है?
Certified Six Sigma Black Belt.
उत-
Staffing. Staffing management plan. Wow, we are here at staffing management plan. Okay. So staffing management plan actually tells you how many things, what kind of activity is required on the project, what kind of skill you will need, and for this, how many staff you will need, and approximately for how much duration you will need, right? And where you will find it, from where you will onboard it, externally or internally from the organization, right? So the kind of a job description, kind of the skill set, and the quantity of the people, and when you need it, what is the start date, and how much duration you need it. So you actually know what kind of skill set you need from the staffing management plan, right? And for what duration in your project you need it. I mean, for 4 months, 6 months, whatever duration. Definitely, every resource you're not going to hire on the day one of the project. You may need some resources to join you later when you are in execution. Okay, so it shows you what kind of activity you need, and for each activity, what kind of roles and responsibility would be required. And if the person is need to be hired, he should be aware about which things and how many such people you need, and when should be the start date of this type of resource. So you start early onboarding this type of resource before definitely finding the resource, and onboarding the resource takes maybe 40-45 days. So you should start early, and then for which duration you need. So you need to think about that. If you need it for 4 months and the cost is, let's say, X amount, then you need to have the money for 4 months. Okay. So all these things are in the staffing management plan. If you are okay, I will move towards next. Next is your, let's first review the resource management. Okay. Now the resource management plan is quite comprehensive one actually. So it takes care about roughly it takes care about whatever you saw in the staffing management plan, but little bit different way. That you talk about here, you talk about your project phases, for each phase of your project. Okay. During your design phase, analysis phase, build phase, testing phase, what kind of tasks there are, and what type of resource you need, and then what will be the output of that resource. That if you are hiring a PM, he will provide you the project plan, he will provide. And if you're hiring the solution architect, he will produce the design document. If you're hiring the business analyst, then he will deliver you the BRD. And if you're hiring the developer, he will deliver you the software, right? And QA will deliver you the test plan and the strategies and daily rate, and then the overall cost. So that resource cost is part of your resource management plan. Other costs are also there. If you are hiring a resource, then you need to think about uh, training needs of that resource, right? Managing that resource. So maintenance cost, if you're hiring a software, if you are buying a software hardware, so there will be some cost involved. Okay. So all those material costs you need to think about. So resource management plan is about all equipment, material, manpower, and what will be their overall cost, as well as what do you need. But it does not have actual duration map to it, right? That we saw in the staffing management plan, that you know when you need this type of resource and for how much duration you need it. This is key in the staffing management plan. Okay. And now let's see resource calendars. The resource calendar is showing
सर
you.
सर माजरत बात काट रहा हूँ अब आप देखें, sorry, you can see that even in your slides the major heading is resource management plan while you were talking about the staffing management plan.
No, that was my mistake. That was my
अच्छा.
mistake. Yeah, that should have been changed. That should have been changed. But the topic, the overall uh, knowledge area is resource management. Okay, that's why it was resource management. So it should not be resource management plan. It should be resource management actually. But staffing
Oh,
management
okay.
plan is staffing management plan. The only difference in staffing management plan, is that you are getting to know that when you will staff this resource, right? This is more or less on a staff, but not on a resource level, right? If you see that it was equipment, material, hardware cost, everything, right? But this one is the staff related, right? So it's more of a human resource, right? So you are seeing that this kind of person, you need to have him on the project on this date, and for how duration you will be needing. So that's your staffing management plan. But resource calendar tells you
मैं
for,
तो आपके कमरे में जाने से पहले आ गया था.
yeah, for Kumar, Kumar works on from Saturday to Thursday, let's say Sunday to Thursday, let's say, and he doesn't work on Friday, Saturday. Okay, and he has a vacation on the full month of July. He has a vacation, and he is available in February. He has nothing to do, right? So this is where we know that our resource is available, he's not available, and if there is a major milestone, let's come back and connect with our question. That question was telling that project manager is worried because major deadlines were getting missed, right? So this situation could have been avoided if near delivery of a major milestone, if your staff has planned for annual leave, so you should have negotiated with him that you go after delivering this milestone so that we should not get impacted on the in the project. So let's come back to our question. So now it does make sense, guys, that resource calendar is where if we have managed it well, we wouldn't miss the deadline, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
boss.
so this resource management will plan will give you the eagle view. So using the resource calendar only, whether we can able to decide uh, how much manpower, right?
Sir,
This
if the D, sir, if D option was referring to resource management, not the plan, then we should have selected resource management or still using resource calendar. Then everything will be coming under resource management, right?
no, no, no. Resource management is you are managing a resource, mean you are managing its training needs, its motivation, uh, salary. Uh, so yeah, also his vacation and those approvals and those things, but his HR issues, his conflicts. So it's like a managing day to day level, right? So resource management involves managing kind of a managerial role, right? But yeah, performance management also, if the resource is lacking in performance, then you also can give warning or provide trainings, right? But here the if you read the question again, the project team was working on a large project with multiple deliverables and tight deadlines, and due to lack of proper resource management, the team was unable to meet the deadlines. Okay, which of the following strategies could have helped the team to avoid the situation? Now, if you ask me, uh, that resource management is an issue, yes, resource management an issue, but that is not an in your answers, right? Your answers are referring to either it is resource management plan which is an issue. No, it is not an issue, because as per the plan you already hired a resource and you hired the correct skill set. Are you with me, right?
Yes.
So staffing management plan worked because staffing management plan also included the start date of the resource, and it included the duration of the resource, and the skill set also it was mentioned. Okay. So that is not an issue. The only issue is that could have been managed well, that surprises. That's my brother marriage is there, and I already applied in January about this vacation. I have to go. But if you have not synced your resource calendars with the key milestones in your project, definitely resource unavailability will become your key issue. So you will miss the deadlines, right? Or if the resource performance level is low, then also you will miss the deadline. Resource motivation is low, then also you will miss the deadline. There comes your resource management plan. Are you getting it now?
Sir, can you please repeat?
If your resource performance is low, if your resource motivation level is low, then comes the resource management plan, because you didn't identify or invested on the training needs, so that if you have provided the training, the resource would have met your expectation. Or if you have managed his motivation level, for example, if he was demotivated or she was demotivated, you would have found out the reason, how you would have helped them. Maybe they have a stress, maybe they have issues, family issues, or maybe they have work issues, so you would have managed those issues well, so the resource could have focused more on the work, right? So missing the deadline is because of workload, because of stress, because of unavailability, uh, demotivation, could be many reasons, right? So I agree with you that it is slightly pointing towards resource management plan, but if only if the situation was that it was due to motivation, lack of training, lack of skill set, then we would say that planning went wrong or management went wrong. But here, it is more of a missing the deadline, you know. So, what do you think, guys?
Yeah, since you cleared the point that resource calendar is not the part of resource management plan, then it's clear.
Kumar, any point?
No.
Okay, read, Kazim.
Uh, you are the project manager for a large scale construction project and involved building a high rise office building in the city center. The project has been ongoing for several months now, and you have recently received feedback from your stakeholders that they are concerned about the project's financial performance. They are worried that the project may be overrunning its budget and the cost may be spiraling out of control. In order to provide assurance to your stakeholder that the project is on track financially, which of the following factors should you closely monitor and report to them on a regular basis? Compliance of the project with the relevant regulations and law, performance of the project against the budget and cost estimates, project funding requirements and resource of funding, estimate of future budgetary needs for the project. B.
What do you think, Kumar?
Compliance of the project with relevant ठीक है any okay, we have to do the relevant regulations and law, but it's not related to the question. Project funding requirements and the source of funding, we already know it's like it's something at the starting point. Estimating future budgetary need for the project, it should be when you are going low on the project or estimating budget future budget need for the project. I don't technically got the D answer D, but my answer will be
Yeah, what is your answer, Kumar?
Yeah, mine also will be B.
Okay, good. My answer also is B. If you guys agree, my answer is also B. because it's more related to what is in the question, right?
Correct.
All right, now read,
Okay.
Kumar.
Sir, I
As a
will
project
request
manager for a
before it.
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes.
please.
I'm saying before reading the question, can you please tell us what these four are?
Kumar, read question, then we'll
Yes.
do it.
Yeah. As a project manager for a software development project, you have been experiencing delay in completing certain tasks. Your team has been working overtime and adding more resource to try and speed up the process. But you have noticed that the duration of the task is not reducing. This is the result of,
What do you
I
think?
think, this Parkinson law or Murphy's law. These
Yeah.
two should
No
be
worries,
there.
no worries. Don't stress out.
Mm.
You want me to explain each one of these?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So see, Murphy law. Murphy law states that if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. Okay. So it's more or less related to any risk or pitfall that you can think of. If you can think of, then it is nearby. It will happen. So be prepared for it. Okay. And then Parkinson law is related to activity expands to the time available. If you give me 1 week, I will be relaxed. I will do it in 1 week. If you give me 2 days, 3 days, I know I have to do it in 2, 3 days, then I will definitely work it out. So it means that if the work that can be done in 2, 3 days, if you give it 4, 5, or 6, 7 days, it will expand actually itself. It will, it will become lengthy work, right? So Parkinson's law states that the work or activity expands to the time available. If you will give me 1 month, I will be completing in 1 month on my own comfort zone, comfort level, right? Then iron triangle. Iron triangle talks about three constraints which are competing with each other, such as your time, cost, and scope. So these are three competing constraints, and PM has to manage these three competing constraints. That's his project management. So that's a iron triangle of constraints. Okay, that because if you try to manage costs, definitely you need to find out time. Like if you want to uh, manage time, definitely you need to invest more money. Okay, sometimes if you want to reduce the time, you have to invest more money. And the scope, the scope is it depends. If it is fixed, then definitely you can't do much about the scope. You have to manage the other two ends. Okay, so that is your iron triangle of constraints, which is scope, schedule, and cost, which compete with each other. Law of diminishing return. It states that the more resources you add to speed up, okay, this will speed up the work to one extent, to one time, that okay, you were adding resources and the job was getting done in the lesser time. But after uh, adding resources to one level will reach that it after which law of diminishing return will come into action. And if even if you add more resource, the work will not get, you won't be able to get work done faster. So actually it will decline if you add more resources. So law of diminishing return states that you can expect that adding more resources will give you better results, but there is a limit to it. And upon that limit is reached, you won't be able to get that benefits actually by adding more resources. Okay, you get the point now. Now in this description, what does more relate to? You guys are here? Hello,
Yeah.
Kumar.
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah. Is it Murphy law? Is it Parkinson law? Is it iron
Parkinson law.
triangle? Hmm?
Parkinson law.
No, Parkinson law is that uh, it is only talking about uh, your student syndrome. Like a student, if you have 1 week or 1 month, you will not study. You will study on the last day. So it means that if you have 1 month, your preparation will actually you will do relaxed preparation. So if you the activity will expand to the time available. So here there is nothing like that. Here you are adding more resources, and you and your team was working on our time, and then you added more resources to try to speed up the process. But you have noticed that duration of the task is not reducing. What is getting in action? What is in action? Don't you think law of diminishing return is in action?
Yes.
That the kind of return that you are getting by adding more resources initially
Yes.
is no more
Yes.
coming now.
No.
You
Yes.
tried with
Yes.
the hour time, you added more resources, the
Mm.
productivity increased till one level. After this, adding more resources is not giving you that much return, right?
Correct.
That means that law of diminishing return is in action.
Ah.
True?
True.
Kazem, you there? Shall we move? Are you speaking on mute? Okay, I will move. Yes, read Kumar.
Yeah. As a project manager for a construction project, you are tasked with estimating the duration of pouring the foundation. You have decided to use the triangular distribution method, which takes into account the range of possible outcomes and the likelihood of each outcome occurring. Using this method, you have determined the following estimates: an optimistic estimate of 5 years, a most likely estimate of 7 days, and pessimistic estimate of 15 days. To calculate the final duration estimates, you will, it is a 7, I mean 5 plus 7 plus 15 divided by 3, right?
By 3 is
That's what the estimation is.
triangular. Yes, triangular is divided by 3.
Yes.
Triangular is divided by 3. But Kazim was not there when I was asking about previous question. So Kazim, you are here again. Are
Yes,
you
sir,
back?
sir.
So we were talking about previous question, and do you have any concern in this question, or shall we move?
And sorry, sir, I don't know any of these.
Ah, you missed all the story. Okay. So I was telling before that Murphy law means that if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. Okay. And law of diminishing return means that adding more resources will give you returns. Okay, the productivity will increase, but after certain point, adding more resources will not give you more return. It will not give you that return. Actually, the return, whatever you are getting in terms of productivity increase by adding more resources, will start diminishing, and law of diminishing return will come into action. Okay. If you read the question, it is saying that your team has been working day and night, overtime, and adding more resources to try to speed up the process. But you have noticed that the duration of the task is not reducing. This is the
So it's
result
part.
of what? It could be the result of what do you think?
I think it will be B.
अच्छा B तुम्हें नहीं पता. Law of diminishing
नहीं.
return actually. Yeah, it is. I just explained that what is law of diminishing return. Law of diminishing return is that you will start to see that your return on investment are getting diminishing, like they are reducing. So when you are adding more resources to speed up the work got speed up, but to one extent it got speed up. After that point, when that point was reached, that you added, and now if you add more resource, actually you are not getting the task duration reduced, right? So, which simply
Okay.
states that it will not always happen that if you can get the work done with one resource in 10 days, if you add two resources, you will get it done in 5 days. But if you think that you will add three resources, it will be getting done in less time. So then it may not happen. You know, it
Yeah.
may
Yeah.
it may not happen that you will get it done reduced by the duration reduced. Okay.
Okay.
So the question relates to which of the option?
But you have noted the duration does not decrease as a result of I'm Parkinson's follow.
Parkinson law क्या होता है? Parkinson law means that activity expands to the duration available. Parkinson law means that student syndrome, that just like a student, you will sleep for the 1 month if your exam is after 1 month. But if you are given 1 week, you will be prepared in 1 week time, right? So activity will
Okay.
expand to the time available. Parkinson law means
Uh,
that activity will expand to the time available. But in your question, what is the scenario? Can you read the question loud?
okay. A project manager for software development project, you have been experiencing delay in completing certain tasks. Your team has been working overtime and adding more to try and speed up the process, but you have noticed that the duration of the task is not reducing. This is a result of iron tracking. You said the thing will go wrong.
Oh,
Parkinson law is
nahi.
something.
Iron triangle, I said that there are three constraints, scope, schedule, and cost, which compete with each other. And project manager has to manage these three competing constraints. These are like a triangle. End of the triangle, there is a cost, there is a schedule, there
Uh,
is a scope. Each three
okay,
corners of the triangle are a schedule, scope, or cost, which are competing with each other. Okay.
okay, okay.
Parkinson law, I said that activity expands to the duration available. Murphy law, I said that whatever can go wrong, it will go wrong. Law of diminishing return, I said that you won't be able to reduce the duration by adding more resources after a certain point. Yes, you can reduce the duration till one point that you are adding the resources and job is getting done faster, but one point will reach beyond which if you add more resources, you won't be able to reduce the duration further.
So it will be answer D, right?
Yes,
Ah,
my God.
yes, 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 yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. We have done the this question. Read, Kazim. You read now.
As a project manager for a construction project, you are tasked with estimating the duration of pouring the foundation. You have decided to use a triangular distribution method, which takes into account the range of possible outcomes and the likelihood of each outcome occurring. Using this method, you have determined the following estimates: an optimistic estimate of 5 days, a most likely estimate of 7 days, and a pessimistic estimate of 15 days. To calculate the final duration estimate, you will take the maximum of the three estimates resulting of an estimate of 15 days. Take the average of three estimates by adding them together. 7, 5 plus 7 plus 15 and divided by 3 resulting in an estimate of 9 days. Take the minimum of the three estimates resulting in an estimate of 5 days. Ignore the optimistic and pessimistic estimate and only consider the mostly likely estimate of 7 days. Calculate the final duration. To take the average of the three estimates by. So though I don't know about the triangular distribution method, but the average thing is looking good to me.
Yeah. Which one is this? B.
Bravo.
Yeah. It is true. It is true. You are spot on with the triangular. Okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
Yes, Kumar. You there, Kumar?
Yeah, I'm here.
Read it.
Same, okay. As a project manager, you are facing difficulty in estimating the duration of certain activities for a new project that you have not previously undertaken. To overcome this challenge, you have decided to use optimistic estimate, which is 5 days, pessimistic estimate, which is 15 days, and most likely estimate, which is 7 days. You have taken the sum of all these three estimates and divided by the result by 3. Which of the following technique is used? So this is 3-point estimate.
Divide by 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Divide by 3, 3 point. True.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then what is program evaluation and review technique? Hmm?
Mm,
So you said divide by 3. This is 3-point estimate, which is actually 3-point estimate is, let's say T is equal to pessimist plus optimist plus most likely, right? And then you divide all by 3. You can still see the Excel, right?
yes.
So this is
This
also called
PERT
as
means four into most likely plus pessimist divided by 6, right?
PERT is that one. Yeah. Then PERT estimate is you have pessimist, you have 4 times most likely, and then you have optimist, all divided by 6. Okay. These are 2 formulas we need to remember also, right? But there are 2 names for this. This one, the first one is also called as 3-point estimate, or it is also called as triangular distribution. Okay, this is also called as triangular distribution. Okay. The second one is called as beta distribution, normal curve, okay, or PERT estimate. You want to know more about these 2? Let's go to the video. If you okay, we go to the channel and we go to the videos and we go to the 3-point estimate, and 3-point estimate is here. But there was an issue, right? My voice was not.
It's software migration season. What's the story of this flock? The business habitat is an environment with limited
You can hear the voice,
resources.
right?
Yet the common ops lead uses one platform for tickets and a different one for reports. Across the
Guys,
open
you can
space, the
hear the voice?
majestic HR manager conducts.
Yeah, we can hear the voice.
Okay, now focus on the triangular distribution.
Project managers
Beta
often
distribution.
face challenges while estimating the duration of the project or the activities. How confident a project manager can be when it comes to estimating? If the project manager has done this kind of work in the past, he may be very confident, and the resulting estimate might be accurate. However, when the project manager has not done these kind of activities in the past, he may face difficulty, and the resulting estimates might not be accurate. In order to solve this issue, project managers actually use 3-point estimates. In 3-point estimating, we take a worst case scenario that is a pessimist estimate, and we take a best case scenario that is a optimist estimate. And we also take a most likely scenario, which we are considering the highest probability is. Then we are going to sum them and divide by 3. Let us take an example. Activity A here has an optimist duration of 5 days, whereas same activity, the pessimist estimate is 15 days. And we estimated the most likely scenario is the 7 days. If we take the simple average, we will come up with the figure which is 9 days. And the resulting graph that you see is called triangular distribution. And you see that the 9 days is more tilted towards the mode of the triangle, which is the most likely scenario. Now let us see the other type of technique, which is called PERT. Program Evaluation Review Technique is also a 3-point estimation technique. However, the formula we are going to use will be a weighted average. We are giving more weight to the most likely scenario. Now, we are multiplying most likely scenario by 4. So we have the similar formula. We have optimist, we have pessimist, we have to add them, and then we have to add 4 times most likely, and all we will be dividing by 6. Why we are dividing by 6? Because in the numerator we have 6 factors now. All right, so when we apply the similar example, we apply this formula for the PERT, the estimate will be 8 days. Here we can see also that our 8 days estimate is more tilted towards the most likely scenario, which is a mode of the equation. But we have a very smooth curve here. The curve that you see is also called as beta distribution. All right, we have seen the triangular distribution and we have seen a beta distribution using the 3-point estimates. I shall see you in the next lecture.
Got it?
Yeah. Can we have an example for this beta distribution? Question,
Same.
not an example, it's question.
The question at hand is the beta.
Yeah.
This one. This one is the 3-point. It is coming next. Okay, you will see that. Are you back to the Excel sheet? Are you able to see the Excel sheet?
Yes, boss.
Okay, then read
Yeah.
read
Yeah,
Karthik. Yes, Karthik.
As the project manager for a marketing project, you need to conduct a survey with 300 participants using a questionnaire with 20 questions. Based on historical data from a similar survey in a previous project, you know that each participant takes 10 minutes to complete the survey. Using the information, you estimate the duration of the project to be 300 minutes. The team is using historical data from the similar projects and mathematically models to estimate the duration of tasks in this project. Which estimation technique team has used? Analogous estimating, parametric estimating, 3-pointer estimating, bottom-up estimation. Yeah.
Okay, 3-point, you know, right? Are they using 3
Yes,
points? You can
and
say
I don't
no.
think so. I don't know. I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even think they're parametric estimating.
Okay, good. You have idea about parametric as well. Kumar, what do you think?
So as per since I'm an engineer, I think it's analogous estimation, though I don't know what analogous means in PMP.
Okay, guys. Kumar, what do you think? What should be the answer? Hmm?
One minute. Huh?
Take your time.
It's a parametric estimates.
Yeah. Now, there is a very sharp difference between parametric and analogous. So analogous mean analogy. So you do the analogy with the previous project done in the past, and you say, okay, it took 2 years roughly. You say, okay, this project will also take 2 years because both are similar kind of projects. Okay. However, the question has one additional information along with the historical information data from similar projects. You are using
Mathematics.
mathematical model to
Yes,
estimate the
exactly.
duration of the task in the project, which means that you are going to say, okay, if the X amount of work took 2 weeks of time, then 2x amount of work will take 4 weeks of time, right? So you are using some mathematical XY equation, right? So which means that you are using actually a formula. So you are going towards a parametric estimation. That's something you have bought before, purchased before in some quantity, or some kind of work you have done before in some capacity or in some at some scope level. Now the scope has increased, so you can estimate that it took you X amount of time for this much scope, it will take you Y amount of time for the extended scope or reduced scope. What do you think? Parametric is the answer. This is correct. And you got to know the difference that both look towards the historical information. But if you are making analogy just based on the historical information, it's an analogous. But if you are using some formula, then it is also parametric. Then it is parametric. Got
Can
the
you
idea?
please explain bottom-up estimation also?
Bottom up estimation is that if you recall your work breakdown structure, and you have the bottom of it, you have work packages, and let's say you have activities also in your plan. So what you do, you estimate first the activities, and then all the activities you add up to the work package level, and then you estimate the cost of a work package. Let's say each activity was for 1 day and there were 4 activities, then the whole work package will take 4 days. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Then similarly,
Okay.
you do it for all
It
the
will
work
go from the
packages.
bottom to reach the top.
Correct. So you add all the bottom activities, and you are moving from activity to work package to control account to deliverable, deliverables to the project budget. So you are rolling up,
Yeah.
adding up, aggregating up. So it's a bottom up.
Yes. Okay. Understood.
Kazim, got the idea?
Sir.
Say, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, nothing. I got nothing, sir. I didn't understand anything, sir. No, ask. Believe me, ask. I'm not. I'm just making. Tell me if you didn't get any point.
सर असल में something about paramedic, it was like phew, above the brain.
No. Imagine if you have one labor, and he offloads the vehicle. Okay, I mean the truck. Okay, so he takes. There are 100 lumps of wood. Okay, and he takes out 10 in an hour. Okay, so he works for 10 hours to take out 100 lumps, right? So if you will appoint 2 people, so you can get it done in, let's say, 5 hours, right? Right. Or if there are two
Okay.
trucks, so this resource will take another day or a day and a half. So you estimate that based on the work amount of work he has done yesterday. Now today there are two trucks, so he will going to be take he will going to take 2 days to finish it, right? So you just multiplied it by two. So uh, so it's based on y is a function of x, right? So the more the scope will increase. So if it got done in 1 day, one truck, and there are two more trucks to go, then 2 more days to are required, right? So it's a linear equation. So if you are working on buying like this, that 10 chairs cost is $100, so you want to buy 20 chairs, so it will be $200. Simple, right? So it's a parametric equation. Two parameters, x and y.
So this word parameter came from the comparing the parameter to other
You see,
getting the outcome of this project by comparing it to the parameters of other project.
you have the example is saying exactly like that, that you have conducted a survey with 300 participants using 20 questions in the past. Based on that historical data, right? You know that, I mean, now you need to do it for 300 participants and each survey has 20 questions. But based on historical data, you know that you have done this kind of survey in the past and participant took 10 minutes to complete the survey, which had, I think, 20 questions maybe, right? So using this information, you estimated that duration of the project will be 30 minutes. That now, so like 300 participants are there and each will take 20 minutes. Then you multiply it and then there are like, you get to know that it will take 3000 minutes for all the survey to be completed, right? Right. So that's
Okay.
based on the formula, right? How did you reach to 3000 minutes? You multiply 300 with 10.
Okay, the thing confused me was this mathematical models. That's why I selected analogous.
It's analogous, definitely, but you are using the formula to multiply the previous history. From history, you know that 20 questions were solved by one person in 10 minutes. Then 300 people will solve it in 3000 minutes, right? That's the formula.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, great. So shall we stop here,
It will be great.
Kumar?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you,
you
I
see.
two more question, I'm ready to take if possible.
he can take and Kazim can hold it. Okay, Kazim, hold. You are in my hand. Don't worry. You are in safe hands.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, take it. Take it, Kazim. You take it one.
This one.
Yeah.
As a project manager, you are tasked with implementing a new statistical tool for quantitative risk analysis and for within your organization. You have decided to utilize historical data and benchmarking to improve the accuracy of the risk analysis and increase efficiency and cost saving. Which two of the following are the primary benefits of utilizing historical data and benchmarking in this scenario? Improve accuracy of risk analysis, increase customer satisfaction, improve communication among team members, reduce project duration, increase efficiency and cost saving. We have to select two.
Yeah. Two options can be. You can see this type of question in the exam. 5 options are given and
Okay.
you need to select 2.
Okay, we have decided to utilize historical data and benchmark to improve accuracy of the which two of the following are the primary benefit of utilizing historical data and benchmarking in this scenario. Alpha and eco. A and C.
He read the question again and again. I think he found the answer in the question. You know that, Kumar, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great, guys. Okay, Kumar, read the next one.
Okay. As a project manager, you are tasked with implementing a new inventory management system within your organization. You have decided to utilize historical data to improve the forecasting of future demand and optimize stock levels. Which of the following tools would not require to use historical data for accurate forecasting and optimization? Which of the following tools would not require to use of historical data for accurate forecasting and optimization? Monte Carlo analysis, trend analysis, time series analysis, sensitivity analysis.
Pop re pop.
all are two statistical methods which are mind-boggling.
I think we should do this tomorrow so that Kamar Bhai is also available.
When you are mentally available. What do you think, Kumar? Do you know the answer?
No, I'm just searching my notes. Just
Okay.
what is Monte
Okay.
Carlo in this?
No. I will give you the clue about this, and we will do it again tomorrow as well. Okay. So, guys, uh, we just read one type of analysis method which uses the historical information for estimation, right? So now the question is not estimation. Now the question is forecasting. Okay. So in future, what can happen? So all of these methods are forecasting methods actually. Monte Carlo, trend analysis, time series analysis, sensitivity analysis. Okay. So think about the output of the model can change based on the varying the input. So everything actually requires input. Monte Carlo requires input variables. Trend analysis required in input data. What is the past trend? Time series analysis also required input data. Sensitivity analysis also require input data. But the quality of data, okay, it can be true data or it can be dummy data. Now, this input data should always be some historical data, real data, or it is not necessary. So three of the methods actually require the data should be historical data, like a trend analysis, let's say. How you will generate trend, you need to know past 3 months what has been happening, right? So that you can generate and forecast the previous and the future, right? Have you seen the trend
Yes,
analysis? They are
I
showing,
know about the trend analysis.
yeah. So it needs the historical data that what happened in the past 3 months, right? What kind of
Yeah.
accident and what kind of so that what does trend tell you? That what is a trend? What kind of accidents happen? How many accidents happen in this kind of work, right? So that's a trend, right? So trend analysis does need the historical data. Similarly, time series analysis also does need the historical data to come up with the forecasting actually. Monte Carlo also needs the data that is, based on input data uh, should be about the estimate should be the the previous project's estimates or something that has some background to it. Okay, all the variables, the input variables should be based on, or the estimates should be based on the historical information. But sensitivity analysis does not need that. But in the next class, we will go through uh, all of these analysis with the diagrams, okay, so that it will be very clear for both of you. What do you think? You want to do it now or next day?
No, sir. Kamar Bhai
No, next day we'll do it.
will not be able to do it, so we will do tomorrow.
Yeah, he is the finance guy. Yeah.
Yeah, very
Ah,
important, very important.
cool. He is smart guy. He found a way to skip this question. That Kamar is not here.
We are a team.